Good morning, my beautiful sisters. Welcome back to our next season. So, come pull up a chair beside me on the Dutty Couch because today we're going to tell ourselves some uncomfortable truths. I want to ask you one question. What if the problem isn't your house, your job, your relationship, where you live, or even your wardrobe? What if the problem is you have outgrown the life you are trying so hard to make comfortable? Some of us have become experts at decorating prisons. We repaint the walls, we buy new curtain, we take another vacation, we get new hairstyle, we lose 20 pounds, we buy another name brand handbag, we upgrade the car, we move to another city, we start another relationship, we post smiling pictures on Facebook and Instagram, but underneath all of the decorations, we're still miserable. Because the problem was never what we fix it. The problem was the life. I know that feeling. Sometimes we confuse comfort with peace. We tell ourselves it is not that bad. At least I have a job. At least I am married. At least the children them grow up now and can help themselves. At least I have somewhere to live. So we stay. Not because we're happy, but because we are afraid. We are afraid of starting over. We are afraid what people will say. We are afraid of failing. We are afraid that maybe we wait too late. So instead of changing our lives, we become interior decorators. We decorate disappointment. We decorate loneliness. We repaint exhaustion. We perfume up unhappiness. And every year we get better at pretending. Yes, the finger is pointing right at me. Have you ever noticed how many energy it takes to maintain a life that no longer fit you? It is exhausting because every morning you have to convince yourself that today will somehow feel better. But deep inside, you already know the answer. This isn't going to get any better. What you need to understand now that this is not your forever. And one of the hardest lessons that I have learned in all of this, you cannot build a joyful life by constantly negotiating with misery. At some point, you have to stop negotiating. Maybe it's the job you hated for 10 years, left the blasted job, you now suffer. Maybe it's the friendship that only calls when they need something, block them, or don't answer when you see them come up. Maybe it's the marriage that has been emotionally draining you over the years. Girl, take a stock of your life, and if it means a left him man, left him. And maybe it's living for everybody else's expectation. That was what I was doing, and I have finally put a stop to it. I start live for myself. I start saying no. Me never know how to say no up to a year ago. And today, me find myself as saying no. And maybe it's carrying responsibilities that were never yours to begin with. Yes, me, see me. The fool, yeah. People come and borrow money from me and me no have if I lend them, and because of how them story sound sad, me go a loan company go borrow money and lend them and they not pay me back the money. So me end up have to pay back the loan. Because me don't know if me a idiot or what, but me feel say is my duty. Well, me stop. Whatever it is, be honest with yourself. Because denial is expensive. It costs years. It costs you your peace. Sometimes it even costs your health. I think one of the saddest thing about getting older isn't the wrinkles that can fix. Makeup hide a whole heap of things. It is realizing how many years we spend trying to make ourselves comfortable in places we were never meant to stay. Somehow not stay too long in some relationship. Somehow not stay too long in some job. Somehow not stay too long in some places. I see women in their 50s and in their 60s still apologizing for want more. People tell me, say, YouTube or social media enough for whole people like me. People ask me, how you do on social media, how you do on YouTube, you know, so say, young people days, you know, say, young people want to make money. Yes, then we tell you all kind of things and discourage you, but no make that faze you. I see big people still ask permission for dream. They have their dreams. And instead of them go for it with the little breath where they got left in them body, the life where God give them to live, they have to ask people permission if they should go after it. Stop explaining why you think you have to leave. You don't have to explain nothing to nobody. If you want to leave, just pick up your things and leave. Leave the relationship if it carry you down. Leave the job if it exhausts you and costs you your health. Leave that city, they go somewhere else. Leave all the country if that is not the case. Live in the version of yourself that you have outgrown. And can I tell you something? You don't owe anybody no explanation for becoming the woman God is calling you to be. Your next season will always offend people who benefited from your last one. Never repeat that. Your next season will always offend people who benefited from your last one. Because some people don't actually want to see you happy. They just want you familiar as long as you stay the same way how them know you used to be, where they can easily access you. They feel comfortable, but the moment you change, they say you're selfish. You're going like you're better than them. You forget where you come from. You're ungrateful. Suddenly, you have forgotten where you're coming from. That them are trying to guilt trip you with. But no, you have simply remember who you are. There comes a point where courage have to take over. It don't always mean say you go quit tomorrow, you know. But gradually make the change. Sometimes courage is just admitting, I don't want this anymore. That sentence alone can change your life, because once you stop lying to yourself, you can finally start making decisions that honor your future instead of protecting your past. Maybe your next season doesn't require another makeover. Maybe it requires just a different mindset. Maybe you don't need no more motivational speech. You just need to make a decision. And maybe you don't need to redecorate your life, change your style, lose weight. None of that. You just need to make up your mind, say, you're not doing this no more. Yes, it is going to be uncomfortable. Growth is always uncomfortable. People are going to misunderstand you. Some relationship are going to end. Some doors are going to close. But can I ask you something? How much longer are you willing to spend decorating a life you secretly pray to escape out of? Think about that. Because every year you stay somewhere, your soul has already left. You are paying rent to fear. Life is too precious for that. If God has placed restlessness in your spirit, maybe it is not to punish you. Maybe it is His gentle way of telling you there is more out there for you, my sister. Not necessarily money. And it no have to be success. It could just be peace, peace of mind, purpose, joy. As women, especially after we pass the 40 threshold, we often think our biggest chapters are behind us. I don't believe that. I believe experience is preparation. I believe experience is preparation. I believe heartbreak is education. And I believe healing is transformation. And I believe your next season begins the moment you stop trying to polish what needs to let go. So today, I want you to ask yourself one honest question. What part of my life am I decorating instead of throwing out, instead of destroying? Sit down with that for a little while. No rush it. Maybe the beginning of your life that you have been praying for is here now. Make use of it. And guys, thanks for spending time with me again on the Dutty Couch. And if this conversation spoke to your heart, share it with another woman who may be quietly surviving instead of truly living. And until next time, protect your peace. Choose yourself without guilt. And remember, your next season doesn't begin when everything around you changes. It begins the moment you find the courage to change what you have been settling for. God bless you all and have a happy Friday. And I'll see you in the next one.